Welcome to this tutorial on SQL Auto Increment. Auto Increment is a useful feature in SQL databases. In this video, we'll explore what Auto Increment is and how it works. We will also discuss its benefits and show you how to use it in different SQL databases. Let's dive in to automatically generate unique values. So, what exactly is Auto Increment? Simply put, it's a feature that automatically generates a unique number for a column in a table. This is commonly used for primary key columns, where each row needs a unique identifier. When you insert a new record into a table with an auto increment column, the database automatically assigns the next available number in the sequence. By default, the value increments by 1 for each new record. In essence, auto increment ensures that each row in your table has a unique identification. Let's explore some key benefits of using auto increment. First, it eliminates the need for manual ID assignment, saving you time and reducing the risk of errors. Second, it ensures uniqueness across records, preventing conflicts and maintaining data integrity. Third, it simplifies database schema design by automatically handling the creation of unique identifiers. Fourth, it improves query performance with indexed IDs, making it faster to retrieve and manipulate data. Now let's look at some common use cases for auto increment. It's commonly used for primary keys for database tables, providing a unique identifier for each row. It can also be used for user ID generation, assigning unique identifiers to new users in a system. Moreover, auto increment is useful for order and transaction numbering, providing a sequential number for each order or transaction. Finally, it's used in content management systems to uniquely identify articles, pages, or other content. Let's take a look at how to use auto increment in MySQL. Here's the syntax for creating a table with an auto increment primary key. You can use the create table statement followed by the table name, in this case users. Then define the columns including ID of integer data type, specify not null, and use auto_increment. Include other columns like username of varchar data type of length 50, specify not null. Email of varchar data type of length 100, specify not null, and finally specify primary key as ID. When inserting new records, you don't need to specify the ID, as it will be automatically generated. Here's how you can insert data into the users table by specifying the username and email. Notice how we didn't specify the ID in the insert statement? That's because the auto_increment attribute will automatically generate a unique ID for each new record. Let's explore how to use auto increment in SQL Server. Here's the syntax for creating a table with identity auto increment. You can use the create table statement followed by the table name, in this case users. Then define the columns including ID of integer data type, specify identity 1,1 and primary key. Include other columns like username of varchar data type of length 50, specify not null. Email of varchar data type of length 100, specify not null. The identity function takes two arguments: the seed, which is the starting value, and the increment, which is the amount to increment by for each new record. When inserting new records, the ID is automatically generated. Here's how you can insert data into the users table by specifying the username and email. Notice how we didn't specify the ID in the insert statement? That's because the identity function will automatically generate a unique ID for each new record. In SQL Server, identity seed, increment is used instead of auto_increment. Let's take a look at how to use auto increment in PostgreSQL and SQLite. In PostgreSQL, you can use the serial type to create an auto increment column. Here's the syntax for creating a table with a serial primary key. You can use the create table statement followed by the table name, in this case users. Then define the columns including ID of serial data type and primary key. Include other columns like username of varchar data type of length 50, specify not null. Email of varchar data type of length 100, specify not null. The serial type automatically creates a sequence and sets it as the default value for the column. In SQLite, you can use the auto increment keyword to create an auto increment column. Here's the syntax for creating a table with an auto increment primary key. You can use the create table statement followed by the table name, in this case users. Then define the columns including ID of integer data type, primary key, and auto increment. Include other columns like username of text data type, specify not null. Email of text data type, specify not null. It is worth noting that integer primary key automatically increments even without auto increment keyword. Let's explore some advanced options for auto increment. In MySQL, you can customize the starting value of an auto increment column. Here's how you can start the auto increment value at 1000 instead of 1. In MySQL, you can also reset the auto increment counter to 1. Here's the syntax for resetting the auto increment counter after deleting records. In SQL Server, you can customize the increment value of an identity column. Here's how you can start at 100 and increment by 10, resulting in values like 100, 110, 120, and so on. In both MySQL and SQL Server, you can retrieve the last inserted ID. Here's how you can do it in MySQL using the last _insert_ID function. And here's how you can do it in SQL Server using the scope_identity function. Let's discuss some best practices and considerations for using auto increment. First, always use auto increment for primary keys that don't need business meaning. This ensures that the primary key is used solely for identification purposes. Second, choose appropriate data types, such as int or big int, for expected row counts. This prevents integer overflow issues as your data grows. Third, use foreign key constraints when referencing auto increment IDs. This helps maintain referential integrity between tables. Fourth, always retrieve generated IDs after insertions for relationships. This allows you to establish relationships between tables by referencing the generated IDs. Now, let's look at some important considerations. First, auto increment values may have gaps after deletions. This is normal and should not be a cause for concern. Second, auto increment is not ideal for distributed databases. Instead, use UIDs, which are universally unique identifiers, to avoid conflicts across multiple databases. Third, sequential IDs can expose business information, such as growth rate. Be mindful of this when designing your database schema. Fourth, auto increment may cause contention in high-volume, multi-threaded insertion scenarios. Consider using alternative strategies such as pre-generating IDs to mitigate contention. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.